going on, everyone, from Overtime Heroics? My name is Danny Podolsky. I'm joined here with Danny, the Colombian Warrior Chavez. He's set to return to the octagon at UFC Austin when he faces Ricardo Ramos. Danny, how have you been?
Hey man, everything good, man. Can't complain. Everything has been going perfect. Thank you for having me.
Love to hear it. And so first off, your first three fights in the UFC, they've all been at the Apex. This time you're in front of fans. Does that make a big difference for you?
Yeah, I haven't fought with a crowd in a very long time. It's been like almost actually it's been 4 years. The last time I had a crowd was 2018. So, we hit 2019, I didn't get to fight. 2020, the pandemic hit, and I fought on a regional scene in Tampa, and I didn't really have a crowd. I had like a few people there, but it was really like I couldn't really sell tickets to have a crowd. Then my next three fights was in the UFC and the Apex, there's no crowd. So this will be a little different, but I'm very looking forward to it. Actually, this is what I asked. I asked if they could give me a fight where I could have some crowd, and they did. So I'm very excited.
And looking at your opponent, Ricardo Ramos, one, how did the fight come together? Was he the only name they gave you? Were there other guys they gave you? And second of all, have you gone to watch any of his previous fights?
No, I don't really. I don't have no saying in my fights. I said I was ready to fight, and that's who they lined me up. That's who they matchmake me. The matchmaker, that's who he wanted me to fight, and I don't pick fights. I don't cherry pick, especially in the UFC. I have no saying for me to be picking and saying who I want to fight, who I don't. You know what I mean? I feel like if you say no, they will probably won't even like that. So I didn't say no to any fight. I don't say no to fights. Period. I face wherever I gotta face, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and what I know about him, I've seen some of his fights. Of course, I have to study him a little bit. So I seen his fights, and uh, experienced guy, long, lengthy, good jiu-jitsu, crafty striking. He's in the UFC, man. He's a good fighter. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta be ready for whoever they throw me, and I just think he's just another guy. There's another great fighter in the UFC and a great fighter in the roster, and I just gotta go out there and do my thing.
Stylistically, what do you think gives you the advantage over him?
I think when it comes down to it stylistically, I think I'm a better wrestler.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I think I'm a better boxer. I think if what separates me and him, I think I'm just a better athlete too. You know what I mean? I think I'm more explosive, faster, you know. And but at the end of the day, I gotta be the smarter fighter. I gotta be the one out there to go out there and make the right decision, make the right choices. Because it doesn't matter if you're the fastest, the strongest. Those things don't really matter if he's actually smarter than me in there. If he knows how to use his strengths against me, then he's gonna be able to win the fight. So I just gotta make sure I do my thing and I go out there and beat him.
And so in your last fight, you end up facing Kai Kamaka, who was a short notice replacement. This time,
Yeah.
Ricardo Ramos, you've been preparing for him all the time. And assuming that fight stays intact, how much of a difference does that make for you, having gone to one?
Yeah, hold on, man. Let me knock on wood. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. You're right.
You know what?
Knock on wood.
I will,
Yeah.
I will take you.
Yeah. Yeah. Short notice fight is a little different because you you tend to like train in the gym exactly how you think the fight's gonna play out and how you think your opponent's gonna fight you. So, Kamaka just came in 2 week notice. It was just so hard for me to like come up like we made our adjustments and we came up with a game plan and everything. But at the end of the day, your body was my body was training and my style was training for Doho Choi.
Mhm.
So now that but with this one, Ricardo, I got 6 weeks. I was already training regardless, not knowing an opponent, but I was already in shape. Like I've been training since after the fight with Kamaka. I'm always at the gym, that's just the routine I have. I go from the house to the gym, to the house. And when I was in the, it doesn't really matter to me because at the end of the day, I train regardless.
Mhm.
But then when we finally know who we're fighting, then we gotta like mold myself for that fight, which is a little different. Like since he has his own style of fighting, we gotta like work with my strengths against his weaknesses and work my defense against his strengths. You know what I mean, and stuff like that.
And so it's been or it's going to end up being over 10 months since your last fight. Has it been frustrating for you having to go through that layoff?
No, because actually I was injured.
Okay.
If I wasn't injured, then it would be a problem. You know, I was able to train. I was only able to train for my upper body. Like I was only able to do like boxing and stuff like that because I had hurt my ankle.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So since I hurt my ankle, one second. Linda, I'm in an interview. So since I hurt my ankle,
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't like for the next months I couldn't really kick. I really because that happened in the Kamaka fight. I came on. I ended up hurting like a tendon on my ankle.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to put pressure in it. Like I was able to do like running and jumping, but I couldn't make contact. So whenever anybody kicked me or I trying to sweep somebody, oh, that would be a lot. It'd be very painful. So I had to do a lot of therapy. So it was actually a blessing because I had already going into a Kamaka fight. It was 4 fights in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what happened is, I feel like sometimes we could get a little burned out a little bit. You know what I mean? Because you're constantly fighting. And my last 2 fights didn't really go my way. I lost, and then I had a draw. So I really wanted to get back in the scene on December to just get that out of the way. And my coach was like, "Look, you're hurt. Just get 100%. You know what I mean? Just get yourself healthy. And as you're getting yourself healthy, like that, you not only you heal up, but you get to enjoy training. You know what I mean? And it's true. I got back to the gym and I started enjoying training. You know what I mean? I think like sometimes when we know we're fighting, like we know we're getting ready for a fight, so we start getting into this fight mode and we get a little stressed out. You know what I mean? And we shut down our minds in a sense of like we don't try to learn new things. We just want to stick to what we do great and just sharpen up. Actually, like I knew I was gonna ask for a fight around January of 2022, so I just enjoyed the rest of the months. And as I recovered from my foot, I was able to do a lot of things. I was able to lift weights, especially upper body. And I was able to do lower body too, because like I said, it wasn't about putting pressure on the foot. It was about making contact. You know what I mean? So I was able to do a lot of things, and I was able to like, enjoy training. And then when we hit 2022, I was already calling him and telling my manager, all right, book me, find out what's going on. And the COVID is already kind of like slowing down, and it's still out there, but it's slowing down. So now things are getting booked a lot now. So it took a little long for us to get a fight, but we're here, and we're a week and a half away. So I'm excited.
So would you say after the layoff, you talked about getting to work on your skills, would you say that you're in the best shape heading into this fight that you've been in a long time?
Yes. I believe I'm in the best shape because not only my coach, Jonathan Lopez, we've been working on new stuff. Like he actually, like I said, my previous fights, I would train, but like when it came down to my condition and like my physique, uh, I will start, you start kind of like working on that most of the time when you're getting ready for a fight. I was just doing a lot of fighting training. For this one, I didn't. Starting from way before, we were already doing lifting weights, doing sometimes cardio. So we've been out, nothing crazy. So because we don't want to like hurt ourselves or, you know, peak too early or anything like that. But we were already working on stuff. So by the time we got the call, I already had done a lot of weights, explosiveness, dynamic workouts, cardio. So, all we have to do now is, start putting in more work because now we do got to fight. And I've been working a lot with my coaches too. Like, I always work with them, but right now we detail so much this time. I've been so on top of my meals, my supplements. I'm not a supplement guy. People don't understand. I hated supplements because I just feel like I like to be 100% natural.
Mm-hmm.
But in this sport, man, you need help. We have such a tough, rough sport. I'm 35 years old. So, believe it or not, like a lot of these supplements, I didn't know how useful they are. And like, they're really useful. And I'm doing a lot of great things, man. I feel like, not only because of the training, but because of my recovery and the things that I take and then putting them in my body. Because, what you put in your body is what's gonna be. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm feeling amazing. I feel like I'm in the best shape I've ever been.
Love to hear that. And you're training at MMA Masters still, right?
Yeah, I've been there for 13 years.
Okay. A few guys I want to ask you about. So first off is Colby Covington, because he's down there. Have you gone to train with him at all? Or at least seen him in training and whatnot?
No, not for this camp. You know what I mean? He had a little incident not so long ago. You know what I mean? And like technically, like he's a guy that no matter what he trains, but I don't, I don't want to bother him and everything. And plus, like, I did train. He did give me some work in my previous fights,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been so long, and he has his own things going on, and technically, like, one of the reasons why I believe we've been training too is because kind of like he's a different weight class as well. You know what I mean? I'm a 45er. He's a welterweight. And, he works with his welterweight. I work with my featherweights and my lightweights. You know what I mean? And, like, I think if I would have been fighting more of a wrestler, I think we probably would have. Because you have to mold yourself according to the fight you're going to have. You know what I mean? And I don't think I'm fighting a southpaw wrestler. You know what I mean? When you look at Ricardo Ramos, he's an orthodox striker, jiu-jitsu guy. He will wrestle with me a little bit. But it's just not, he doesn't wrestle like a wrestler. He's more like a clinch guy, likes to body lock, likes to go for judo, you know what I mean? So it was a different style. It's just, if I was ever to work with Colby for this fight, because he just has amazing cardio, he will put so much pressure, he will help me with my cardio, but that's probably the only part I would have used him for this. But he has his own things going on, and I have my own things going on. But if it was the right matchup, I know he would have, because he's helped me before. So why wouldn't he right now? You know what I mean? It's just I don't think I needed him in this camp in that sense.
When you've talked, like, what is he like personality wise from when you've talked to him?
Believe it or not, I always tell people, like, he's an amazing, he's a great person, man. He's an amazing person. Like, he's giving me so many tips in fighting, and like, I actually have listened to him a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I used to make mistakes during training, and he's the one that has actually came up to me and be like, "Yo, do this, do that." Don't, like, and even like he's giving me tips psychologically. Like, oh, like he's giving me good tips, and he's a great person. Like I said, if I was to ask him to help me, he'll do it. That's why I just didn't really, like I said, I didn't need his help for this one, but he's a great person. And I know everybody sees the person that they see and they think he's a douche or something like that, but to me, he's a great human being. So I have no complaints.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair statement. I think a lot of people question how much with Colby, how much of it's an act and how much is, him being genuine. The second guy I want to ask about is someone in your division. That's Ilia Topuria. He's also at MMA Masters, right? Ilia Topuria, or am I wrong on that one?
Oh, he has, he used to train with us, but he really he hasn't done a camp with us in a minute. He did
Okay.
his camp with us against Jackson.
Okay, Damon Jackson.
Yes, that was the last time he did a camp with us. He's a good friend of mine. He actually always cheers. He cheers me, and I cheer him. We send each other messages, like, cheering each other out up. And he's a great person. He's a great human being. But I haven't really trained with him in about a year and a half or something, because he trains in Spain. He's always in his country.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And I train in my country, so.
Got you.
But he's a great person. He's a great training partner.
Gotcha. And so, speaking of that, so your nickname's the Colombian Warrior. How much does that motivate you? Your Colombian heritage and wanting to, I guess there hasn't really been a UFC star from Colombia.
I know, man. That's what I'm trying to be. That's what exactly. That's actually one of my biggest motivations, is that I want to be the first Colombian UFC champion. You know what I mean? And that'll be amazing. Like that's my goal right now. I'm the best Colombian featherweight. You know what I mean? You got other guys from Colombia representing Colombia, but not in my weight class. So they're the best at their weight class. They're the best Colombians at their weight class right now. They're number ones. I'm number one in the featherweight division representing Colombia. So that means a lot to me. You know what I mean? I actually, I lived in Colombia. You know what I mean? It's not like I just call myself Colombian because my parents are Colombian and my blood is Colombian. But I lived in Colombia. I lived in Colombia for 7 years. From first grade all the way to 8th grade. You know what I mean? I know I lived the culture. I lived their life, the Colombian life. You know what I mean? So it means a lot to me to represent them, to put the flag out there. To those three colors means a lot to me. The yellow, the blue, and the red. It means a lot to me. So I just can't wait, man. I just can't wait to give him a shout out to the W.
And so I don't know if this is something you pay attention to at all, but the betting lines, they have you as around a plus 240 underdog, which is a pretty considerable underdog for this fight. Is that something A, you pay attention to, and B, does that motivate you at all just to kind of prove them wrong?
Well, to be honest, every time I've been an underdog, I win, and then when I've been on the favorite, I lose. So you know what? That's a good thing. Look, I understand why everybody has me as an underdog. You look at the Jared Gordon fight, and you think, oh, Danny, he got taken down. He got down. But you have to understand every fight is different. You know what I'm trying to say? And like. I can't pay attention to what the media says. You know what I mean? I can't pay attention to people that sit in their desk and then do nothing. They don't really know anything about fighting. They just want to like crunch numbers and be like, okay, I believe this because, they just go based on certain facts or certain things like, oh, well, he lost to a ground guy and he's been submitted before. He's going to lose. So for me to pay attention to that, like, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've been submitted once in my whole career. It happens. You know what I mean? Charles Oliveira has been submitted like 5 times in his whole career. And he's one of the favorites as winning by submission too. You know what I mean? So like, let's don't forget that Charles Oliveira has been submitted like about 5 times. You know what I mean? And everybody looks at him as like one of the best ground guys in the world. So, like you can't pay attention to your things. You know what I mean? You got to believe in yourself. And I believe in the work that my coaches, my teammates have put in. For me, I believe in the work I put in, and that's all I got to believe in. I don't believe in whatever people say. I don't watch that stuff. I used to the week of the weigh-ins, the week of the weight cut, the weigh-ins and stuff. You go to YouTube and you're gonna see people's opinions. You know what I mean? And predictions. And I used to watch that. I'm not watching it this time because I don't need to pay attention to that. Because you don't need like negativity to be putting seeds in your brain for that. And you start thinking like, why? What is it that they see that I don't see? Why don't they believe in me? Like, fuck that. Like, I'm here to do what I gotta do. And at the end of the day, I gotta do what I gotta do, and that's getting my hand raised. And I don't want to say prove the haters wrong because I don't even give them any shine in my moments like that. You know what I mean? Like, I just gotta do what I gotta do and be a winner because I've always been a winner. I've been a winner of life, and right now I'm gonna be a winner in my career too. So I don't need to be paying attention to what these fat don't even know what the hell they're talking about. People are in the goddamn computers just typing in what they actually think they think is right. I don't care what they think is right. I know what's right.
Fair enough. And I know you were an underdog against TJ Brown in your debut, and you won that fight. And then when we were talking about the weigh-ins for the Jared Gordon fight, because he missed weight. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
You got right in his face at the face-offs. Have you? I guess kind of after that fight, did you guys make amends, or are you still not? Are you still pissed about that?
No, we did. I actually talked to him. Actually, we saw each other at Eagle FC not so long ago.
Okay.
He was there, I was there, and we talked. No, but we've been talking since like the first time I actually talked to him in person was in XMMA. That was when my brother was fighting in that show. He had his teammates fighting that show. We ran into each other, and we just talked. You know what I mean? The moment of the fight, like I'm a very professional guy,
Mm-hmm.
and when you miss 4 pounds. And your excuse was that your sauna, whatever his excuses were, I don't buy it. I called him a bunch of names. He knows it. I told it to his face anyways. I'm like, yo, I know I call you a bunch of names, but it's part of the game. You piss me off and it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm always going to tell people straight in their face what I think. I don't hold back. You know what I mean? But time went by and, at the end of the day, he's not a bad person. He's not a bad human being. It's just that I just thought he was very unprofessional. And he did apologize to that moment too. It's just that, at that moment, you understand, I just finished cutting weight. I just got to 155, 145. I'm drained. And upset at me how he didn't make weight. And he should know. He's a professional. He should know. He should know that anybody could get upset about that. And then he beat me. Of course, I'm gonna be more upset. You know what I mean? Like, then he beats me, and so I was pissed off. So, but he fought against somebody. I can't remember who. I think it was his first fight after me. I think he fought in 155, and I congratulated him. I'm like, yo, man, good work. Because, like I said, he's a great human being. He's been through a lot in his life, and he actually likes to help people. And I admire people like that. I admire people that want to help others. You know what I mean? And he's that kind of guy. You know, so and he puts in the work. It's just like he just didn't make weight. He wasn't professional about that part of the sport. And I was upset. And you know, it is what it is, man. But you know, at the end of the day, we cool. You know, we follow each other on Instagram. We like each other's posts. We cheer each other out. So we good. We good.
Love to hear that. And I was gonna say, because after that fight, he moved up to 55 and picked up a big win against a guy named Joe Selecki. He did lose his last fight to Grant Dawson.
Yes.
He's looked good since moving up to 55, so I thought that was interesting. And then, so just my last question for you.
Oh, go for it.
Say that again?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Oh, yeah. So coming off the 10-month layoff, if all goes well and you beat Ricardo Ramos, do you want to be more active throughout the end of 2022? And, you know, are you looking at like top 15? You know, like what's your goals for the end of the year?
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got that much time on my clock. You know what I mean? I know I got a few years left, and I don't want to be wasting. Like, I just want to keep you know, I want to keep getting in those rankings. I want to keep. So I know that after Ricardo Ramos, I need a top 30, top 20. You know, I'm not gonna. I wish I could get a top 15, but you know, that's up to the UFC. It's not up to me. You know what I mean? It will be up to me. Depends how I win, and I know I'm gonna win. But I at the same time, and now not everything is up to me. So, you know, like I told you, I don't turn down fights. The UFC gives me what they want to give me. I'm gonna fight it. And I just really like that's the goal. And I want to stay active, always according to how my body is. You know what I mean? I hope everything goes right, and I don't have no injuries, so I don't have to like take some time off, because I already had enough time off. You know what I mean? Like I told you, like you know, I had 4 fights in 1 year, and probably I didn't need some time off after that. But yeah, I already took enough time off. I could go to another 4 fights a year again.
Got you. Guys, Danny Chavez makes his return at UFC Austin on June 18th. Danny, best of luck to you in your fight, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Nah, man, thank you very much. And I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that has been on my side, my coaches, my teammates, my family, my friends, my sponsors, my manager, you know, everybody that's been on my side, everybody want to see me succeed. Love y'all. The ones that don't, I don't care. You know, be mad, see me succeed. I know y'all mad, but it is what it is. I just really want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's always giving is always giving me that positive energy. Is always throwing that positive energy towards me, because it's hard in this era right now. We live in an era of jealousy and greediness and fakeness, and it's just bad right now. You know, there's a lot of crazy things going on in this world. You know, and it's just a lot of negativity out there, and you know, you just gotta stick to the ones that are real with you, and those are the ones that are real with me, and I just want to thank them all.
Danny Chavez, best of luck to you.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.